Hi everyone, what's up? This is Alvin Mark. You are tuned to the art channel. Welcome to the studio. Yes, it is time for my sketchbook tour. This is my second sketchbook for the year, and you know that recently I've started purchasing my own sketchbooks and I'm trying out different sketchbooks. This one is Bao Hong from China. It's 100% cotton and 300 GSM. Size is at 16 by 24 cm. It's acid free. Color is natural white. I like it. It's pretty similar to the last one that I used. If you've not seen that, do check out this link. So I'm gonna put this aside as we run through this sketchbook. I've decided to use the first few pages before the actual watercolor page because I don't want to let it go to waste, and I would usually do an ink sketch. This one was done on the train obviously, and it was done from City Hall to Tanah Merah. That's approximately 9 to 10 train stations, I think. Yeah, so here we go. People, thanks for tuning in. If you like my stuff, remember to like and subscribe, and also comment what you enjoy seeing in my presentations. So this was a thing that I did at Terminal 4. They converted part of the terminal into a racetrack for go-karts, electric go-karts. So this was quite interesting. If you missed the video, do check out this link over here. This was a cake, a Christmas cake that my client made for me. It was really delicious. Everything that is homemade. I will definitely give it a chance. I will try it out. I will sample it for sure. And this is on my way back on a bus. This is sitting right at the front where I was able to see the captain. By the way, thank you so much once again. You know that recently I've started purchasing my sketchbooks because I want better quality paper. So thank you all of you on Patreon for supporting me. I'm able to buy these art materials for your viewing pleasure. This one was done at Shake Shack at Jewel. I might do a separate video or episode on hamburgers. I don't know. Okay, back at the train station again, once again, Tanah Merah to City Hall. And another one at the local hawker center. What I did was to make a collection of them, and I presented these hawkers or these food vendors with a printed, laminated artwork from my sketches in appreciation for their amazing work at the hawker center 24/7. Well, maybe 6 days a week, but you know, they're always there for us, serving us with delicious food. I visited Alcove Mansion again with some urban sketches, and we sketched the locale and also the cafe. So that was amazing. Had an Ispahan shortcake, lychee flavored. And this is at the Wildseed bar, and this is sketching the bar while waiting for our food to arrive. And this is outside H&M on Orchard Road while waiting for a friend. After the visit to the local art museum, and I saw this daddy figure taking care of this baby with a pram, and I thought that's really interesting because seldom do you see this happening in Singapore. You do catch glimpses of it, but very rare, so I decided to catch him in this sketch. And then it's back to the sports massage therapy that I go to every now and then. And again, more train sketches over there. This is at Arab Street, one of the really pretty traditional two-story houses over there. And this is specifically on Baghdad Street, right in front of the Kampong Glam Cafe. So some friends took me up north to visit another old school canteen. Some say it's the first canteen in Singapore, so it's really old school. It's called 389 Bogey, and it's at Piccadilly Drive, all the way up north where the private airstrip is. And this is a Malay dish called the lontong. And this is what the haphazard, makeshift canteen looks like on the outside. On the inside, which I'm not supposed to film in. If you want that experience, I suggest you take that trip, go up there and take a trip back to the past. I'm dating it 1950s, 1960s in Singapore. This was just another sketch back at school with my students during the figure drawing session that I run. And this is at Hangar 66 right after the visit to Bogey. I decided to skip a page because I thought I was gonna put a colored thing here, but I guess I didn't put a watercolor piece here. And we're back to the annual Pongal festival at Little India. More cows. I did an oil painting of the cow and I had some time, so I decided to do a watercolor painting of the cows. This was on 7th January, and I took a trip to Sentosa to visit the beaches, so I spent some time sketching there. More train sketches over on this side of the page. And this is at Malaysia Food Street. I really enjoy this hawker center in Sentosa, a recreational island. This whole street is actually indoors near Universal Studios. They spent so much time and design and money on this. You actually feel that you are on a street in Malaysia having street food. Really cool. And this is one of the desserts called the chendol. And this is an incomplete sketch. Unfortunately, didn't have time to add watercolors to it. The food came in, it was at an ocean restaurant where I could view fishes live. But again, the dishes were rolling out quite quick, so never had the time. And I don't really have the habit of painting a scene after I've gotten back to the studio when I'm not on location, because it's different and there's really no kick in painting it after. Yeah, because I'm focused on other things when I'm back at the studio, like making these videos, right? It's the Pongal celebration. You saw the cows there. Over here you see the actual Pongal dish. Yummy! This is basically my favorite Indian dish from Komala Villas, and I always go there. There are a lot of other places selling Pongal, but this one serves it the best. Not too oily, not too much ghee in it, and it goes really well with the masala chai. Yeah, and this was the scene that I had on that day. I decided to make a sketch of it. This is during school break. Decided to use the time to dine in this Thai soy Aroy restaurant at Sim Lim Square. So I decided to make an ink sketch while waiting for my noodles to arrive. This is one of my favorite Taiwanese desserts at 9 Fresh or Jiu Xian. I had some time. I was with my former colleague and he wanted to see me sketch, so I made this sketch. More random train sketches here. I do that every once in a while, like whenever I find like a spot, I'll fill it up with train sketches. This was at Waterloo in front of the Guan Yin Temple. Everyday happenings at the temple, people selling temple worship things, lotus plants, joss sticks, etc, etc. So just catching them in action. And over here we are at Inksmith Tattoo. I was invited to sketch inside while the action's happening. It was basically me sketching artists at work. That was a neat experience that I had. Check out the video if you can. This part is called Hot Pot and it belongs to Danny. Yeah, from Inksmith Tattoos. Had some unagi at this place, Man Unagi, and I managed to capture one of the chefs in action. And this is Tenjin. I was waiting for a former classmate, so I had this while waiting for her to arrive. And then when I met her, I had another thing to eat. Yeah. Had a great time catching up with my former classmate. Her name is Sophia. Do check out her works in the information down in the description box. This is at Sim Lim Square again for lunch, and I'm here at 3 meals a day to sketch the scene. Busy lunchtime scene. And here's capturing a kopi si kosong, or a coffee in a demi-tasse cup or half cup at the zoo. Yes, this was done at the zoo. I wanted to challenge myself, so when McDonald's was having a pandan flavored cone, ice cream cone, I decided to purchase that and sketch that before it started to melt. Well, actually, given the heat and climate in Singapore, it already started melting when it was placed on the tray that I brought back with me to the table. So anyway, made it happen. We'll see if I decide to ever turn that into a video to post. This is the time of the Lunar New Year, lots of red, and decided to capture one of the shops with the many customers just looking at stuff, browsing stuff and buying stuff for the Lunar New Year. Do check out that video if you haven't. This is me donating blood at Dhoby Ghaut Blood Center. First time there at that location. I'm usually at HQ. So this is Charteres. Again, this is probably gonna be a lot of Chinese New Year thingies. Year of the Tiger, and Charteres came up with this tiger thing on the menu, and I thought, okay, it's cute, let's give it a sketch. Flavor wasn't as yummy. This is Maze Lohe, this one Japanese ramen place that makes maze, and they use the Chinese New Year fish toss activity to incorporate it into their maze noodles. This was a watercolor still life painting that I did during class. It wasn't really a demo, it was when the students were roughing in the shapes and all that. Used that time to work on this before the first student asked me for assistance. And this is me capturing the last street barber in Singapore in action, cutting his nephew's hair. The 24th of March 1994 was the first day that he had set up shop in this makeshift area. And yes, he had closed that shop for good. I am going to make a video of it, so stay tuned for that. Yes, this is the end of another local trade here in Singapore. Trying out the new burger place called Berg's in Singapore. They have excellent service. After sketching this, one of the staff approached me and asked me if I would like another burger, warm burger, because he knew that this burger might have been cooled to room temperature. And I said, you know what, it's okay, thank you so much for the thought, you guys are really awesome. And then he presented me with a free iced lemon tea. Yeah, so I decided there was a bit more time. I think his son came for the final sketch, so I did a watercolor piece of this barber, yeah, in Singapore before he called it a night for good. This is the busy streets of Chinatown, getting really busy for the Lunar New Year celebrations. More sketches on the train, more train sketches. And this is the Lotus Premium at Graham. They're popular for their pancakes, so I decided I really want to sketch something beautiful and eye-catchy, so why not head down to Graham to make this sketch. This is taking a long time. Yes. I found a gem at Chinatown. This place is called the Food Peeps. They had moved from another location at Maxwell, 2 streets away, but I've not heard of them until they moved here, stumbled upon them, and this is currently my favorite cafe at Chinatown. If you're there, you will know what I mean. Yeah, so near to them would be these uncles playing chess by the street, and this is again the Food Peeps, and this is a piccolo with their sea salt coconut. Yeah, they serve healthy and pretty looking food, pretty for sketching. And here's supporting my friend Shwata, who just opened a cafe in Arab Street. It's called the Cantina. She serves all sorts of Mediterranean food, also vegetarian food. This house chai is also part of them, and they open from 10:30 to 3 p.m. I'm probably going to do a special on this, so stay tuned for that. This is another cake from Chateraise. During the Chinese New Year, I saw this Sumo Citrus chocolate cake, and I said, I'm gonna sketch it, I'm not gonna wait for it, and I'm glad that I did, because the following day after, when I had passed by another Chateraise, it was no longer on the menu. So it's one of those seasonal things. Back at the Plain Jane, to sample that matcha milk pudding, something new on the menu. It's delicious. Yes. And more sketches of my students. Yeah, we're still required to put this label sticker on us every time I enter school. And finally sketching on the train again, and this time being able to sketch the little ones because I'm traveling during the time 3 o'clock kind of in the afternoon, where students are leaving school, primary school students, so I'm able to capture these shorter adults on the trains, yeah, which I haven't been in a very long time. So good to be seeing them on the streets or in the trains. This is Alvin Mark. We're done with this segment. If you enjoyed this, do comment what you enjoy most seeing. Once again, I did a poll on my community tab, and 93% of you said that you enjoyed hearing me speak along with this tour. So here it is. Yes, we are done. See, we are done, and that is the final page. We're here with Alvin Mark. Once again, continue to stay safe. Until the next episode, ciao ciao.